So, the Dragon Door story. I'm actually just going to start it from the time that I came to the United States. When I first came to the United States in about '85, I got a job working for the institute that certified chemical dependency professionals for the state of Minnesota. And shortly after, the director quit, and I got the job as the director of the certification board. I didn't have any real business background. I was originally an avant-garde filmmaker, film critic. I used to write for a magazine called Time Out in London. And I'd also spent 5 years in an ashram in India in the late 70s. I had no sense at all of ever being in any career. I had no intention to have a family. I was essentially kind of an artist monk, and I followed my passions, which were, besides art and literature, I had a tremendous passion from an early age. I was highly athletic. I was a track star at my school, represented my school in track. I was a rugby player. I took up yoga in my teens in the 60s. I had an interest in martial arts from a young age, and when I went to India to study meditation and yoga, I went there expecting never to come back. I went there to get enlightened. I thought I would become a Buddha, and there'd be this massive acid trip that would happen to me, and that would be the end. I would kind of sail off into nirvana. It didn't quite work out that way. I did lighten up a lot, and one of the best things that happened out there was that I was introduced to Tai Chi and Qigong. And Tai Chi and Qigong has been central to my life ever since. I still practice it. I started in '75. I'm still doing it, and I credit a tremendous amount of my health and well-being to those practices. I have also studied Kung Fu. I had a passion for weightlifting from an early age. I was going into the weight room at my school in England when I was 15 and 16. Never really got any good coaching, but I was intuitively drawn to weights as well as other forms of exercise. So very important kind of background for me is a tremendous passion for the cultivation of the physical and a celebration of being in the body. And I've always been attracted to the Taoist philosophy, and what attracted me about Qigong and Tai Chi was that they celebrate really treating the whole cultivating the whole human being. I was talking to a friend last night, cultivating being a wild animal. We're the first animal that successfully self-domesticated ourselves, and we've lost a lot of our survival skills. I found in Qigong and Tai Chi this emphasis on returning to the instinctual skills that wild animals have and combining that with the refined cultivation of the spiritual and emotional systems that are also there. So I had this driving passion and vision from a very early age to be as excellent as possible as a human being, and to look at myself as a complete creature that needed to cultivate in all those areas. But I was very erratic. I was very impetuous in many ways. I valued my freedom in a certain way. I was my own person. So I had a lot of kind of inner conflicts and issues at the same time. Eventually ended up, as I said, coming to the States, where I met my current wife. And we married. She got pregnant. I had a child. Shortly after that, I started studying with a local Tai Chi person, and I rashly and very impetuously decided to start a publishing company with him. He invited me. He'd had a failed publishing company, and he asked me if I'd like to start a publishing company for books and other products on Tai Chi. So I quit my job as the director of the certification board and was suddenly starting a publishing company with no background in business whatsoever. I was a writer. I'd been director of a certification board for a little bit. I had very little money, but I just jumped in and said, I can do this. So what happened is that I very quickly found myself in debt. I struggled. I tried to start the publishing company on traditional publishing lines, going through a normal distribution. My first distributor went bankrupt and owed me 6 months of book sales, which I never got back. And the kind of low point that I arrived at, besides a gentleman showing up at my door saying he was about to turn the water off at my house, and I was scrambling to find a few dollars to pay the water bill, and scrambling to find food for my children, was that I spent a lot of time in the middle of the night with ladies like this as a limo driver, and was driving swinging bikers around and stagettes and stag parties. So I'd be up until 2 or 3 in the morning driving limo. I'd get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, take my kids to school, help get their meals, and then head off and spend a day of very intense, persistent, consistent work trying to get my publishing company off the ground. So this was kind of the low point. I say sorta because I had a lot of fun with ladies like this at times. Can't complain about that. But it was very, very tough. And in terms of depletion, very, very tough to have that kind of a schedule. But I desperately wanted to succeed in communicating my passion for physical and emotional and spiritual cultivation to others and share it through this publishing vehicle. So I hung in there, and I'm very glad that my wife hung in there with me. She could have easily left me in those very hard years, but she was very supportive, and I thank her for that deeply. So this was the low point, the kind of limo driving years, struggling to make the company work, marketing a very esoteric and difficult subject matter, to the current high point. This is a photograph of our very recent certification in San Diego, where we had around 100 trainers, coaches, martial artists attend a kettlebell, 3-day kettlebell certification in San Diego. We had around 20 instructors. It was a tremendous success. And this is where I am now, where we have 1,500 certified kettlebell instructors worldwide, 48 states, 30 countries. We've just launched a new one-day HKC certification program. We had 120 attendees at the first workshop, and we're now launching that worldwide. We're expecting enormous and explosive growth in the coming couple of years and beyond that. It's just an extremely exciting period. Despite the economy appearing to be problematic, our experience has been that people want what we have because we're offering something that's so good quality and can make it not only a difference in their clients' lives, but can help them earn a far greater income. Most of the people who become certified with us see their incomes go up exponentially. And I'm very proud of the training that we've been able to offer through Dragon Door.